Hello. Hi, everybody. We are so excited to have you. I'm hoping that we're just double checking on YouTube to make sure that this is actually showing up for you guys. Oh, there you are. Okay, great. Good. We're so excited that you guys could join us. We see that we have 16 or 20 people joining us today. You guys are welcome to post a comment in the chat room during the course of this presentation. And there's 3 of us here or 4 of us here. So we'll do our best to manage your comments as they come in. So feel free to add your comments through any part of this presentation, because we'll just get to the comments as we're able to through the presentation. And then, so we'll go ahead and start. I just want to introduce myself, Mrs. Blahnik, the principal of the school. I've been here for about 6 years, going into my 7th year here at St. Bernard. In the case that you have to leave or come back in later, this is all getting recorded. So you can always come back to the link later and you can rewatch it and you can see anything that you need to see. We'll put it up on our website as well. I would like to go ahead and start with prayer, and then I'm going to introduce you to the team that's here today. So if we could put ourselves in the presence of God, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. This prayer is entitled, Help Us to Remember. Dear God, please help us to remember that we are never too rich to ask. We are never too poor to share. We are never too strong to stumble. We are never too weak to grow. We are never too sure to wander. We are never too wise to learn. We are never too busy to listen. And we are never too proud to pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And what we say here at St. Bernard, after we pray together, we say St. Bernard, and then we all say, pray for us.
Pray for us.
So that is how we pray here at St. Bernard. So I am going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. And the first thing that I'd like to do before we get started on that, though, is I would like to introduce you to our preschool team who's here. I'm going to go in order of who I see on the screen from right below me all the way down. So starting with Mrs. Molly Bongle. Mrs. Molly Bongle has been with us for many years, and most recently in the last couple of years in the capacity as our full-time 3-year-old teacher. And we're just so blessed to have her. So welcome to Mrs. Bongle. She is the 3K teacher. And then right after her, we have Mrs. Rachel Soderdahl. So Mrs. Soderdahl has also been here for many years, and she has taught preschool and 3rd grade, and just has a wealth of experience behind her. So the team here makes a really great working unit to bring you the best preschool education possible. So we're super lucky to have Mrs. Soderdahl here as well. And then right below Mrs. Soderdahl, we have Mrs. Sully Camacho, and she is the newest member of our team. Mrs. K retired last spring, so we have brought in Mrs. Camacho, who has her bachelor's degree actually in early childhood education, and we're super excited to have her as well. Part-time pre-K4. She is the Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning pre-K4 teacher. So welcome to all of you. It looks like we have 18 people or so viewing us now, and if you're just joining us, you're welcome to add in any comments during the course of this presentation, and we'll do our best to get to your comments as we kind of go along. And then I'm going to go ahead and mute myself so that you don't hear me in the background as we kind of go through this. So without delay, I'm going to hand it over to Rachel and Molly.
Well, good evening. Thank you for coming. I'm going to start with the first slide. So St. Bernard Preschool's philosophy is threefold. We believe in a play-based curriculum, in a developmental approach to learning, and we believe that parents are partners in their child's education. Now, we will touch on each of these a little bit further in the next 3 slides. Next slide.
our curriculum attends to the whole child. And it enhances and engages each child's language, social, emotional, cognitive, physical, creative, and spiritual development by integrating content into learning centers. They develop cognitive skills through daily activities that promote independent thinking, problem solving, and readiness skills. Children have opportunities to practice and hone fine and large motor skills. Through dramatic play, ample books, reading and writing opportunities, listening skills, and collaborating with peers, the children learn their language skills. Children develop an awareness of self, family, and community. The program builds a positive self-concept through interactions with classmates and teachers. Social skills are coached and modeled as well as reinforced through Catholic values and through principles. And our spiritual growth is built while the children learn how to share their love for Jesus through daily prayers, Bible stories, and monthly service projects. These skills are all taught and strengthened throughout all parts of our daily schedule, which is arranged in alternating periods of both active and quiet activities. The next part is about developmental approach. Not everybody quite understands what the developmental approach is, so I just want to explain what that is. So the developmental approach means that we understand that every child develops differently, their different skills at a different pace. Through our time and interactions with the children, we get to know their individual skills and abilities, and then we are able to adapt our different activities to meet their needs and ability levels. In this way, we are able to provide the children with enough challenge to promote further development without causing frustration. Next slide, please.
Parents as partners, we believe parent involvement is a vital element in the quality and effectiveness of our preschool program. All families in the St. Bernard School are required to put in volunteer time during the school year. So families with only a preschooler are required to volunteer 5 hours. But if you have a child upstairs as well, then your whole family would volunteer a total of 15 hours. Due to COVID-19, volunteers will not be allowed in the school building during the school day. But on this slide, we put a variety of ways that you could volunteer in your child's education at home. So you could cut out or color instructional materials for the teacher. You could handle scholastic book orders for your child's teacher. If you're good with wood, you could build things that maybe we're in need of. You could read stories through, like if you make a video of you reading a story and send it to your teacher, then we could show it to the kids. Same thing with talents, hobbies. You could video yourself doing that, and then we could show it to the kids. And then we always take donated toys, puzzles, or games. Obviously, that does not count towards your volunteer time, though, but we are good with that as well. Next slide. To keep your child safe, our diocesan schools wants to provide the safest environment possible. In order to accomplish this, all volunteers work directly with children. Working directly with the children must complete a 3-step process. So you must attend a one-time 3-hour training session. It's called Virtus. You can register for this online on the virtus.org website. And they do now allow you to take it at your own pace, at your own house. You don't necessarily have to go to a place to take it. So it's offered both ways. You can do it in person or online. And then you also, the second thing you have to do is complete a background check. Background checks can be completed on the diocesan website, and the link is right there for you. And then the third thing is to read and sign the diocesan code of conduct. That would come to you in your parent communications folder after you've completed the first 2 steps. Virtus and background checks only need to be done once. Once you've done the Virtus and the background check, you're good till your child's through 8th grade. And then you sign the code of conduct every year. It just comes home to you and you sign it.
The next slide is all about parent parent-teacher communication. There are a lot of ways that we like to keep communication open with the families of the students in our care. We do parent-teacher conferences. We do those twice a year. We can discuss progress, and if you feel that you need to meet with us at any other time throughout the year, we're always willing to work something out with you. We also do weekly classroom newsletters. We will send those out each week. They will be in our weekly newsletters that we send out an email, and we will also post them on the St. Bernard School website. This year, we are also adding something new to communicate with our families, since we will not see you in the morning during drop-off outside of when you meet the teachers outside. So this year we are starting a daily communications folder. So each child will have a daily communications folder that will come to school and be sent home with your child each day. It'll be used to organize information, and it will tell you what things need to be kept home and what things should come back to school. You can also use this daily communications folder to send in things that you would like us to know. You will also receive the St. Bernard Catholic School email each week on Tuesdays. Another program that we are considering checking into this year, we're hoping to utilize in our classroom to help with communication and to share ways that your kids are learning in our classroom, is through the program Seesaw. And if we get that up and running, we'll be sending more information home for you pertaining to that. So as I was saying, with morning drop-off, we will not have the opportunity to talk back and forth in the mornings. So I'm just going to explain to you how morning drop-off will work this year. It's a little different than we've done in the past. So this year, you need to enter the school parking lot using the middle entrance off of Wayfarer Way. If you're unfamiliar as to what Wayfarer Way is, you should have received or will be receiving a map in the mail that kind of looks like this. It tells you the directions on where you need to go to drop your child off in the morning. When you do drop your child off in the morning, all the children need to stay in the car until they have their temperatures checked. Anybody who exits the cars will also need to have their temperatures checked and will be required to wear a mask. Your child will be walked to the recess doors, and then they'll be walked downstairs by a preschool staff member. The teachers will be in the classroom waiting to greet our students. And then we will help the students unpack their bags, check for their lunches, if they have cold lunches or hot lunches, turn in their take-home folders, put their attendance markers into their correct places. And when they're finished, the students will go into assigned classroom centers to begin play right away to start the day. Bus students will be met by a teacher when exiting the bus, and then they will also be walked to the recess doors to be brought downstairs. In the event that you would arrive after 8:30 to drop off your child, you will need to bring them to the front doors and contact the office, as the teachers and the aides will be needed in the classroom after that time.
All right, for pickup procedure, our half-day students, the students will be walked upstairs by one of the preschool staff members. We'll probably, I think there's only a maximum of like 5 to 6 students going home. So one teacher will just be walking them upstairs, and we're gonna walk them up out the front entrance doors. So if you could wait outside the front entrance doors and just wait for them, class ends at 11:30 for all half-day students. Full-day students, on the other hand, we are going to be walking out the recess doors, and we'll walk your students to the basketball hoops. You'll be getting, when getting out of your car, please put your mask on, but we'll walk them to the basketball hoops and you can pick them up there. And we do have a staggered dismissal time. Mrs. Bongo's class will be dismissed around 3:15, and then Mrs. Soderdahl's class will be dismissed around 3:20, so we're not all conglomerated in the basketball hoop area. And if you are in need, Before and after school is available. It starts at 6:45 a.m. and it goes after school until about 5:30. You do need to register and enroll for this program separately because it's run by the parish, not the school. So just if you need a packet for that, just contact the school office and they'll get one for you. Late pickup. Please note that on the second incident of a late pickup, which would be like 3:30 or later, families will be asked to register for the St. Bernard After School program.
All right, this is a big one, classroom safety. I'm sure many people want to know, what are we doing in the classroom this year to help keep your family and your child safe, as well as ourselves? So here are a few of the things that we're doing. As we stated before, and I'm sure you hear lots of times, masks are required to be used in the classroom. The kids will also be using hand sanitizers, the teachers, the aides. Every time we enter a classroom, we will be using hand sanitizer. There is a hand sanitizing station located outside of each of our classrooms. We'll also have structured routines for hand washing and hand sanitizing throughout the day. There will be routine disinfecting of frequently touched surfaces. Another thing I wanted to mention actually about the hand sanitizer is that the hand sanitizer will be handed out by teachers just for safety reasons. With the children this age, we don't want them being in control of the hand sanitizer. So that will be done by us. Our carpets are vacuumed and disinfected daily. The bathrooms will be cleaned throughout the day. We'll only be using easily cleaned and sterilized toys this year. So it'll be things that are easily washed and disinfected, like plastic or wood, and things that will carry little risk of spreading COVID, such as cardboard and paper and books. We won't be using any dress-up toys or flannel toys or baby dolls this year because they also require cloth toys. And with those, anytime one person uses them, they would need to be washed. So we've chosen to keep it safe and just omit those from our playthings this year. The tables and surfaces in our classroom are sanitized throughout the day. We do a lot of washing of those regularly, and we'll make sure that that's done even more so this year. Each child this year will have their individual supply boxes that they'll keep in their cubbies. None of the children will be sharing materials this year. So each student will have their own pencil box that would contain their own crayons, markers, glue bottles, glue sticks, pencils, paintbrushes, and then they'll keep it in their cubbies whenever it's not in use. If there would be a material such as a scissors or a hole punch or any other small tools that they would need and would need to be shared, they would be kept by the teachers and they would be disinfected after each use before another child would use them. This year, we're also looking to use personal water bottles that the children would keep in their cubbies. The bubbler out in the hallway will not be in use. So with the children, they can have their water bottle in there. We'll also be using those water bottles this year for our snack time. Another thing that each child will have is their own personal tissue boxes that will be kept in their cubbies. And another tool we're going to use this year is the use of social stories and signs around our classrooms as reminders. So we'll read the children's social stories just to help teach them about the safety measures that we are taking.
I'll just answer the question. We don't need crayons and pencils because we have a plethora of them from past years.
Yep, we only need what's
them.
The 3-year-olds do need to keep their mask on all day with the exception of when we're eating. We are taking special precautions to make sure that we are socially distanced in an appropriate way in the classroom, as well as during rest time. And we'll tell you a little bit more about how we are doing our rest time to help keep them socially distanced.
All right, for social distancing, the idea of social distancing with young children is not completely realistic. When they play, they forget. We'll focus on keeping children in small, isolated groups with the same teachers, distanced whenever possible, with a strong emphasis on hygiene. Due to the nature of working with preschool students, our staff can only distance themselves from children to a certain extent. So we will still continue to provide plenty of nurturing and comforting to your child while also exercising the utmost precautions and always wearing clean PPE with them. Children will remain in stable groups with the same teachers every day. Teachers will assign the children to small groups of no more than 3 students that will play together for the whole week. And then each group will rotate on a 15-minute basis to different assigned areas in the classroom and will be given hand sanitizer before leaving each center. Close contact among children will be limited as much as possible. Teachers will help students maintain more than 6 feet of separation whenever possible. And then all students and teachers will wear masks with the exception of times when they're eating, drinking, or sleeping. We'll also have a small area in the room, like if your child needs a mask break, they can pull it down, take like a 1-minute mask break, and then put it back on. Activities that do not require close physical contact will be implemented, and rooms will be physically rearranged to promote smaller group play. And then we're going to use tape and other markers and methods to direct children where to stand or sit while participating in our large group activities and during transition times.
The preschool program operates for well children only. Children should be fully able to participate in activities, including outdoor play. So children with symptoms of a communicable disease will have their parents notified to be picked up as soon as possible. But please keep your children home with, if they have a fever of 100.4 or higher, diarrhea, vomiting, head lice, pink eye, conjunctivitis, or an eye infection, sore throat or difficulty swallowing, or evidence of an infection. If your child needs to stay home for 72 hours fever-free and kept home for 24 hours after vomiting or having diarrhea before they should return to school. If they are showing signs or symptoms associated with COVID-19, you need to follow the GRACE decision tree. And that's, it's a piece of information that's actually been sent home in emails through our school emails. So if you have any questions about that, you can check back at emails or we can help you out finding that. And medication forms need to be filled out in order for us to distribute any medication. So this would include prescription medications, over-the-counter medications, as well as topical products like sunscreen or chapstick or other ointments.
I am just going to jump in here. I'm going to respond to Elliot Heath, the Grace Frequently Asked Question website. Masks are not required for 3 and 4-year-olds. This information is changing constantly. Last week, just for example, the mask protocol changed 3 times. I will go back and double check exactly what the Grace protocol is going to be. However, we also have special approval on our campus to make things more stringent than the bar that is set by our by our system. And that is because we are a bigger school and we want to make sure that we can keep everybody as safe as possible. We did not, there may be a place, Tanya, where it asks for face shields. We now, like I said last week, the mask protocol changed 3 different times. And that was from the government, from the state, not just local. So what we've been told is masks are the best way to go. We would prefer no face shields. So we are a mask only school for this time. Did you want to say something? No? Okay. Please, what I would say is with all of these things, it's very, very fluid and it's very challenging right now in education to make sure that we're making the right choices to keep your kids and our staff safe and as safe as possible. So I would say continue to read the materials that are out there. When I know that something is going to change here locally, I will send that out to the entire school community as well. And then we do have an internal handbook that we're in the process of creating that kind of goes through step by step the entire school community and how all the different aspects of our school will be handled kind of in this, COVID world. So I would really appreciate your questions, because your questions also help everybody kind of clarify what's expected. So.
Okay, for snacks, this year, all students will be assigned snack days on a classroom calendar, which will be found in your daily communication folder. This assigned snack will be used for the morning snack. And then all snacks chosen should be nutritious and must be sent in original store sealed packages and not separated or prepared at home. Bulk snacks, such as large containers of pretzels, boxes of cereal, goldfish, a bag of carrots, they're all welcome, but must be unopened when sent to school. We ask that you send your child with their own personal water bottle to use for snack time. And then as a health precaution, we're just not going to serve juice or milk during snack time this year. They can have juice or milk during lunch, but just not during snack time. Students will be distanced appropriately at the tables during snack time. Birthdays, to meet the needs of all the families at St. Bernard School, we decided to eliminate birthday treats. So please do not send cake, donuts, cupcakes, cookies, or excessive sweet foods. Children learn best when they're nutritiously nourished. We will continue to celebrate your child's birthday in preschool by giving them a birthday crown, a prize, sing a birthday song at snack time, and your child will also be assigned as the snack helper that day. So please just send in your child's favorite healthy snack. Children whose birthdays fall in the summer, we will recognize them close to their half birthday. And then allergies, please alert your child's teacher at Meet the Teacher Night if that you have any specific food or contact allergies. And then an allergy alert notice will be in your daily communication folder and in our first 2 or 3 newsletters for parents to reference when you're planning your snack. That way you can try to avoid those ingredients in the snacks that you bring. All students automatically have a lunch account set up in the Hot Lunch program at St. Bernard School. You can choose to use it, you can choose not to use it. It's just automatically there. Money can be added to your child's account by sending in a check made out to Grace in an envelope marked Hot Lunch and then your child's name on it. These can be put in your child's daily communication folder and we'll turn them into the office when they come in. Money in this account can be used to purchase a hot lunch or a carton of milk if your child's having cold lunch. And then hot lunch menus can be viewed on the NutriSlice app, or we're going to put the hot lunch on our daily communications folder calendar. So they'll be not the whole hot lunch, but just the main course of what they're having. So if they're having pizza that day, it'll say pizza on that day. The preschool classes will eat lunch downstairs in their classroom. And just like snack, the students will be distanced appropriately at the tables during lunchtime.
And I just want to answer a question. The question was, are snack size individually pre-packaged snacks easier for you guys? Honestly, yes, it is easier for us. However, it is not necessary. We can definitely split a larger bag appropriately among the other children. So we do have the ability to split them up. So it doesn't have to be individually packaged. It can be a bulk package that we would split up. Can we switch the slide? Thank you. Rest time. Rest time questions always come up every year. So rest time, we are mandated to provide a rest period to children in attendance for more than 4 hours daily. So that would be the full day students. We ask you to send a rest mat to school that would stay at school. And we plan this year to place them into a large kitchen garbage bag that we can store them each day. So that way they are separated from the other rest mats. Now with this in mind, If you've already purchased a rest mat, it'll be fine. We're going to make it work. If you haven't gone out and purchased it yet, we really prefer if you'd get the smaller size rest mats. I know there are some really long rest mats and some really thick rest mats that you can get. However, in order for us to be able to keep them separated and stored nicely, so that way we can keep them disinfected throughout the week, the smaller size rest mats we would really prefer. Rest mats, we were also looking to see if parents or students could bring in one box of 40 count garbage bags to keep at school. So what happens is every week we will disinfect the rest mats. We will take the old garbage bags, we will throw them away, and we will replace it with a new one each week, just to kind of make sure that things are keeping separate and sanitary. Your child can also bring a small blanket and a stuffed animal friend. We look for a soft friend to bring. We're not looking for action figures or Barbie dolls or things like that. But they could use a small friend and a small blanket to bring home to school each day to use during rest time. It helps keep them more comfortable. It helps them to rest a little bit better. Those we would send home every day for you to wash. During rest time this year, we plan to place the children in a head-to-toe and toe-to-toe placement during rest time to keep distance safe for them. Rest time this year ends at
1 o'clock. 1:30.
Well, 1:30. Yep. Rest time ends at 1:30. Technically, what we plan to do is, in the past, we've always allowed children to wake on their own. However, with our social distancing needs this year, we can't allow children to sleep as long as we would like them to sleep, because we wouldn't have enough room to keep the kids who are awake active. So because of this, we will be waking all the children who are still sleeping at 1:30 to make sure we can get into a playtime in the afternoon. However, any students who are awake at 1 o'clock will receive some busy bins. So these will be just different activities that they can play with individually in their spot, so they have something to do while they're allowing those other children time to wake on their own until 1:30.
Rest time starts at about noon. To answer the question that was there, it starts at about noon.
Yep, that does start at noon. We have to get each of the children to the bathroom as well. So usually by about 12:30, all of the ruckus and the moving around in the classroom, entering and exiting the classroom has calmed down, and it's quieter for them to be able to rest from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. Next slide, please. Okay, dress code and attire. So we ask for you to send your children to school in play clothes. Our preschool classrooms don't follow the same dress code as the children upstairs. So please send them to school with play clothes. We like to do sensory activities. We like to do art. We use paint. We do other things. So don't send them to school in their nicest clothes. When you do send them, we look for your children to wear tops that have sleeves, preferably no spaghetti straps. We would like them to wear leggings, tights, or shorts under dresses, to come to school wearing closed-toed shoes that fit. So open-toed sandals, Crocs, things that your children's feet can slip out of or their toes are showing are a little bit more dangerous, and it's harder for them to do things like the stairs or to play on the play set outside when we get out to recess when they're wearing those types of shoes. And we ask you to have your children wear socks, please. It's always great to send an extra sweater or a sweatshirt to school. The temperature downstairs, since we are downstairs, sometimes it can be hot in the wintertime and sometimes it can be cold in the summertime. So it's really great for them to have the option to be able to put something on if they would get chilly at any time throughout the day. When the snow hits the ground, we need you to send winter gear to school. That would include a hat, jacket, mittens, snow pants, and boots. We ask you to please label all of your children's items. Lots of times the kids will come to school with the same snow pants and the same mittens, and if you pick up a pair of snow pants and you ask 3- and 4-year-olds whose snow pants are these, a lot of the times you're going to get, I don't know. So it really helps us if you label those items so we can make sure that the proper items get home to the proper children. Another thing that really helps at that time is if each child brings a separate bag to carry their snow gear in, not their backpacks. It makes it a little bit easier for them to get them out, find them, put them back in again. And another thing that we ask you to do is to please send extra clothes to school with your children every day. Accidents happen, spills happen, things like that. And kids are definitely more comfortable when they have their own clothes to change into rather than some of the spare clothes that we have on hand. And then this year, because we are wearing masks, we ask you to please send an extra mask. You just never know what might happen for it to get dirty, dropped, spilled on, sneezed in, that we would need to change a mask. We'll definitely make sure that the other mask, if it is soiled, would get home to you.
In a normal year, preschool classes typically take 2 to 4 field trips per year. This year, we're unsure if we'll be able to take field trips safely. They're definitely on hold for the first trimester. In the event that a field trip can be done, there are a few things that we wanted you to be aware of. So the cost of the trip is covered under your activity fee. To be more cost efficient and provide all students with the same opportunity, we wanted to combine our field trip to go just on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, because that's when the most students are there. So we have like a Tuesday, Thursday, 3-year-old class that would be invited to come on that Monday, Wednesday, Friday trip. All adult chaperones need to have attended the Virtus training, the completed background check, and the diocesan code of conduct, and those would need to be on file in order for you to come along and ride the bus with us.
What to bring to school? Please send the items that we have on the supply list. We would like you to send a backpack with your child every day. It definitely helps them to bring things to school, helps them to easier carry them back from school, especially since we will be meeting you outside this year. They will not have you to carry their things. So backpack will definitely help. Please do not send your child to school with any toys from home, special toys, things like that, except on their show and share day. We would really hate for them to get lost or misplaced or borrowed by somebody. That has happened in the past. So the only time they should send them to school is on a show and share day. So each of the kids will be placed into a group for show and share so that they will have an assigned day once a month, starting in October. So we will make sure that you get that calendar. It will come home in your child's daily communications folder. We just ask that those toys don't have any weapons, nothing violent, please. And chewing gum is not allowed in school. Thank you.
This is still you, Molly.
Oh, my bad. An acknowledgement form. Oh, sorry. Okay, so also when you come for back to school night or meet the teacher night is what we're calling it, school supply drop off, you will receive your child's daily communications folder. We are hoping at that time we'll also be able to send you a copy of the parent handbook, which is pretty much what we've talked about tonight in our presentation. We just kind of went through the parent handbook with you. You will get your own copy, so you can read through more of the details in that parent handbook. And what we would like you to do is at the very end of our handbook is an acknowledgement form. So we're just asking that each parent would please sign it and return that last page so that we know you've read it and you've received it. We'd appreciate that so much.
And then that's the end of our presentation. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Mrs. Blahnik, you're muted.
Thank you. You guys did a nice job on your presentation. And while our audience is thinking about maybe what questions they might have, I'd like to just say a few things from myself. One thing I'd like to point out is that I am a parent of 2 children now at St. Bernard. It used to be 3. But Mrs. Bongle has 2 of her own children, and Mrs. Soderdahl has had children here as well. I think she's got one this fall with her. And then so does Mrs. Camacho. She has a little boy who will be in 2nd grade, right? And so I want to just let you know that you have a group of teachers and staff members here who are all parents, and many of us have our own children here. So being part of the planning team for what this new COVID world is going to look like in the school building has really afforded us the opportunity to think through how would we best envision our school community with our own children in it, to keep everybody as safe as possible. We are trying to do a couple of things with all of this. First of all, we are obligated to follow health and safety protocols that are recommended to us as much as possible. In addition to that, we want to make sure that when your children go home, that they're not bringing something back into the house that is going to affect grandma or grandpa or anybody like that. We also want to make sure that whatever the children have been exposed to on the outside of the school building, they're not bringing that into our school building and exposing our staff members or other children as well. We think that we feel really good about the program that we have all squared away for this fall, and we think we can do it. I'm excited about it. I feel good about all the hard work that we've put into getting prepared for this school year. And, I think that as long as we have everybody on board with trying to keep each other as safe as possible, safe and healthy as possible, our goal is to stay in school. That is what we want. And so we really just kind of imploring that you guys help us with that. We're going to probably have to ask you to do things that you're maybe are philosophically, that's not where you fit in with your beliefs. But in order to run a school of this size, we kind of have to do some of these things in a more stringent fashion than maybe like a smaller school with, only a fraction of the kids would be able to get away with. So, but this is a beautiful community. I wouldn't have my kids anywhere else. And I hope you feel the same way. And we're just super excited to have, this is your first time being with us. We're super excited to have you as part of our community. We know that it's a huge sacrifice for you financially to make private school a choice for you and your family. So we want to thank you for that. We know you're entrusting the faith formation, the little souls of your children. We know that you are entrusting them with us. And I will tell you, my own children have been through the preschool program here, and you couldn't have better teachers. And that is from the bottom of my heart. Maybe I sound like a salesperson, but I truly feel it and I truly believe it. We have just a super special community, and we're super excited to have you guys with us. So I don't see any other questions.
There are a few new questions.
There were 2.
Okay.
There are 3. I just seen another one pop up as well.
So
how many kids are in the classrooms? Did you get that one?
Know.
Yep.
Well,
how many kids are in the classroom?
I didn't see that one.
Okay, so that was the first one that popped up. That's one of the first. So how many kids are in the classroom? So each classroom has a different limit. Right now, with it being summertime, our numbers kind of come and go. Some people enroll, some people have dropped, some people have enrolled. So we're never quite sure. However, in Mrs. Soderdahl's classroom, it's typically 24 or less students. In my classroom, it's typically 18 or less students. And in Mrs. Camacho's classroom, it's typically 12 or less. So it would depend on what program you've enrolled in, how many days a week, full days, half days, 3-year-old or 4-year-old classroom.
There was, what do specials look like this year? If we have specials, I'm not sure if we do.
Right, specials are dependent upon availability of the teachers.
Yep, and they would be coming to us. So the specials, if we would get music, then the music teacher would come to us. I'm not sure if he's got room in his schedule.
We're going to try our hardest. We feel like some of the benefits of the preschool program in our building is getting especially our specials teachers familiar with our preschool students and families. So even if it's just one day a week that we're able to get our music teacher or our Spanish teacher into the preschool, we definitely try to make that work. We also usually have the 4-year-olds go to mass with us in the spring. Some of these things are just kind of going to be dependent on how this schedule ends up shaking out to try to make sure that we can keep everybody having enough time between classes to sanitize. There was another question that I was going to respond to before that.
There was will the presentation stay on YouTube?
Oh, the presentation might not necessarily stay on YouTube, but I'm going to take the link and I'm going to put it up on our website. So it's not going anywhere. This is our channel. So yeah, you can always come back and refer to this.
And then there's 2 questions here about bathroom breaks. My classroom and Molly's classroom, we have bathrooms right in our classroom. We have 2 bathrooms right in my classroom. We have the door, we have like a corrugated wall that we keep open so the 3-year-olds can come through to use our bathroom. So the bathrooms will be there, and whenever they have to go, they get to go. And then we're going to sanitize the if we've noticed, we're going to sanitize the bathroom as often as we can. If we know someone was just in there, we're going to go in with Clorox wipe or a spray and just wipe down the handles and the toilet seat and things like that.
And the children can go to the bathroom anytime they need to go to the bathroom, because the bathrooms are right in the classroom. They say, I have to use the bathroom. We're going to say, please do.
Mrs. Camacho's bathroom, she has 2 bathrooms in the hallway for her 4-year-olds, and they can just go out into the hallway and use the bathroom and go right back into their classroom. They're going to wash their hands in their classroom, though, because the sinks are really hard to push down in the bathroom. But she's got a sink in her.
The 3-year-old, besides getting to go to the bathroom whenever they say they need to use the bathroom, we also do schedule regular bathroom breaks right at snack time. Sometimes we get to know certain kids and we know that they need to go right after they get to school. So we do schedule bathroom breaks. So right after snack time, right after lunch, before they have rest time. And then depending on how they're getting home, going to before school care, after school care, things like that, maybe shortly before the day ends.
Okay, so Mrs. Blahnik, you might be able to answer this one. Supply drop-off, are there specific instructions, or do we arrive at the scheduled last name time and go downstairs?
I'm missing that. Can you say that again?
Yep, for supply drop-off, are there specific instructions, or do we arrive at the scheduled last name time and go downstairs?
Yes. We are using supply drop-off as a chance for you to practice which door you would go into. So you're going to follow that same morning drop-off map for your supply drop day. So we follow the time, the schedule that's on there. So if your last name starts with a B like mine for Blahnik, I'm going to come between 3 and 4. And if my student is in preschool, I'm going to follow the map that shows me where to park for preschool and then like the pathway to go in on. We'll have plenty of signs there too. So we know that this is kind of new for everybody, even our returning families. So we'll do our best with signage and everything on those days. I wanted to also just circle back to a question that was asked about, 2 questions actually. One that was asked about if a child is going 5-day-a-week full day as a 3-year-old, will they have 2 teachers? So what determines that is the class size. So we basically run on a 12-to-1 ratio. So when a class gets over 12, at least for the pre-K4, it's 11 for pre-K3. For the pre-K4, when it goes above 12, we have an aide in the room. When it goes above 11 for pre-K3, we have an aide in the room. So most of the time, you will have another adult there with the kids in addition to the main teacher.
Well, and if they're wondering if they'd have two separate teachers because it's two separate programs, no, it would be me both days because I'm the only 3K teacher. So if that was what you were looking for as well, it would be me both days.
And then I wanted to add the answer to the virtual learning. The question is there another meeting addressing virtual learning and how that will work? Grace has a whole team of educators that are developing the virtual learning program. Your student will still be a student of ours, and we will still have their spot here with us. So if you choose virtual learning, we still have a spot for them here on our campus as though they're our student, because you guys are our family and our student. But for the way that the program is going to be run, there will be a separate set of instructions that come from the Grace team that is going to be running the virtual academy. And we're still waiting on some like specifics as that kind of develops. But yes, you will get more information, but it won't be from us here, this team. It'll be from a different team.
Should you bring your child to supply drop-off? Yes, because we want them to know the entrance that they're supposed to go in and how to get downstairs. We'll have an aide up there walking them down every morning, but just so they know the routine. So yes, please bring them.
Okay, there are some really great questions, and I really appreciate it. I know the teachers appreciate it too. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end the broadcast, but I really would like to encourage you, if you have further questions or you have something that you just want to have one of our ears on, please feel free to call us. You also are welcome to email us. You can just call the main office and they'll direct you to how to get in touch with us best. But our emails are also on the website, and you should be able to get a hold of us pretty easily, especially from me, because I've been the one sending you all these communications. So just let us know if you have any further questions. We're super excited to see you guys here. We feel like it's going to be an odd year, but we feel like it's also going to be a good year. So thanks, you guys. Thank you to the preschool team and to Mrs. Camacho as well. Thank you guys for all joining us. See you later. Thank you.